Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. My name is Gordy, and because it's Mystery Week, I was just wondering, do you recognize this boy? What do you do when a teenager shows up out of nowhere, says he's never been outside, hands you two bizarre letters, and then gets stabbed under increasingly suspicious circumstances? Give me 5 minutes. I bet you can work this into a conversation today. And like and subscribe if you haven't, so you can keep up. I do this every single day. In May 1828, a teenage boy appeared in the streets of Nuremberg, Germany, then technically the Kingdom of Bavaria. He was about 16, he was dressed like a peasant, he walked with a toddler's gait, and he was barely able to speak, and he also carried 2 letters. The first letter was addressed to a local cavalry officer, Captain von Wessingnig, and it was allegedly written by the boy's caretaker and claimed that the child had been raised in total isolation. It said the boy had never taken a step outside the house, had been taught nothing of the world beyond some reading, some writing, and the Lord's Prayer, and that he now wished to follow in his deceased father's footsteps and become a cavalryman. It ended with the chilling directive. It said, "Take him in or hang him." The second letter, supposedly from his mother to his former caretaker, claimed he was born on April 30th, 1812, and that his father had served in the 6th Cavalry Regiment before dying. But the handwriting of both letters was the same, which strongly suggested a single author, and likely some forgery. Authorities deemed him a vagrant and confined him in a tower under light arrest. He ate only bread and water at first and appeared hypersensitive to light, sound, and touch. And yet, despite his supposed total isolation, he was capable in many ways. Like, he could climb stairs, he could walk unaided. He started learning very quickly, and he showcased inconsistent abilities that betrayed the notion that he was raised in complete isolation. There were some inconsistencies about what he knew, what he didn't know, what he could do, what he was capable of, what he was not capable of. During police questioning, he signed his name Kaspar Hauser. He said a man had taught him only that name and nothing else. Public fascination exploded. Some believed he was a kidnapped royal, the hidden heir to the House of Baden. Others thought he was a traumatized feral child or a manipulative liar. Philosophers debated his innocence. Scientists examined his behavior. Lord Stanhope, an English noble, even took custody of him and funded searches for his origins. But eventually, he abandoned the cause because he was like, I've been duped. This guy is duping me, an imposter. And then came the stabbings. In 1829, Kaspar was found with a superficial head wound and claimed a hooded man had attacked him. But there's no evidence of an intruder, and some suspected self-harm to garner attention. In 1833, Kaspar staggered home from a Nuremberg park with a deep chest wound. He claimed a stranger had approached him with a message about his true identity, lured him into the garden, handed him a small purse, and then stabbed him. And 3 days later, Kaspar died. At the site, investigators found a small violet silk purse. Inside was a triangularly folded note written in mirror script, like backwards, so it had to be read with a mirror. Here's a photo of the note. This is all we got because the real note has actually been missing since 1945. And the note said, Hauser will be able to tell you quite precisely how I look and from where I am. To save Hauser the effort, I want to tell you myself where I come, blank. I come from blank, the Bavarian border, blank, on the river, blank. I will even tell you the name, MLO. The handwriting, the spelling mistakes, and the triangular folding style all matched Kaspar's own. Many believed he had written the note himself and possibly inflicted the wound in a final attempt to reignite public attention, but he accidentally stabbed himself too deep, and this time it killed him. He was buried in the city cemetery, and his tombstone reads, "Here lies Kaspar Hauser, riddle of his time. His birth was unknown, his death mysterious." 1833. Decades later, DNA tests were conducted on hair and blood samples in hopes of linking him to royal bloodlines. A landmark 2024 study definitively ruled out any maternal link to the House of Baden, ending forever the theory that Kaspar Hauser was a kidnapped prince. So who was Kaspar Hauser? A lonely manipulator? A boy shaped by trauma and myth? We still don't really know. Many today doubt the veracity of his claims of being raised in isolation and theorize that he was more of a con man. Some also think and posit that he may have had epilepsy, as evidenced by the early forms of medicine he had in his pockets. and then was abandoned at a young age, and he fell in with a swindler crowd, and he learned how to manipulate and create hoaxes for personal gain. But either way, like, to me, I don't feel like this kid had a great life either way. And I think both things can probably be true. Like, he could have had an abusive, traumatic childhood and had become a manipulative and unreliable person. So that doesn't seem that weird to me, knowing what you know about childhood trauma. But he could also he could have just been making it up. Who knows? And that's why it's a part of Mystery Week. So there you have it. A teenager who appeared out of nowhere, carried 2 forged letters, lived under a storm of suspicion, and died just as mysteriously. His identity may be lost forever, but the mystery of Kaspar Hauser is still very much alive. Go check out my sources for this one, which you can find in the YouTube description. Give me a rate, like, subscribe, share this with someone, leave a comment if you know who Kaspar Hauser is. That'd be cool. I'll do another episode if you tell me. Go check out the 1-minute version on social media at Smartest Year Ever. You can find it on all social media platforms. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. I will see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever.